So sometimes I think people try a little too hard to apply biblical text to contemporary times. And one of the best examples of this that I can think of is the book of Ruth. Now, you might have heard of or read one of these books, but even if you haven't, if you've been around the church, you might have heard unmarried women say, "Oh, I'm waiting for my Boaz," or even married women referring to their husbands as their Boaz. Now, there are a lot of flaws with that way of thinking, but one of the most major and obvious ones is that Ruth is not just an unmarried woman. She's a widow. She's a widow who now lives with her mother-in-law, and neither one of them has security. Neither one of them has someone to provide for them, and that leaves them in a desperate situation. A desperate situation which later on forces Ruth into a very vulnerable situation. And when you read this story and see just how complicated it is and the precarious position that Ruth was put into, then it might be a little bit easier to realize that it's dangerous to try to apply this to women of contemporary times because it gives them a false narrative to aspire to, but also it completely distracts from what this story is actually about.